Guys, welcome back to the channel. This is Connery from Out of Work. Today we're going to be discussing baits and castable umbrella rigs, right? So what I'm talking about is this. We got this one and we got this one for examples, and we got all the baits that you could possibly want to throw on them. All these baits. You see all these baits? It's crazy. So many baits. There's so many baits, there's so many reasons for it. This is the Alabama Rig, but this is the one that's made by Terminator. Because as you can see, there's a head, and then all the arms come from the back of it. This is the titanium wires, and this is a heavy duty one. This is actually our favorite one if we had to pick one. And of course, this one doesn't have any the blades on it, which is the only downside of this one. But since the arms are titanium, it's real strong, and it's a shame they don't make it no more. But titanium arms, the hardware is pretty good, and then we got it outfitted with Gambler Big Easies on it. And most importantly is this hook. This is actually a Bass Pro Shops hook. There's XPS swim bait hook. It's the 5/0 with a 1/4 ounce on there. This one's a little overkill for bass, and for what we use, this one is just basically strictly stripers. We're throwing it into, say, heavy current, and we're on big line, 80-pound braid, and nothing gives. So basically nothing gives, and you have to horse them upriver sometimes. So when that is the case, you have to have a lot of good proven hooks and everything, because if you throw anything besides this massive hook on it, there's a good chance you're gonna lose it. We've lost a lot of fish, fishing rivers doing this. So this is definitely our heavy duty go-to right here. And like I said, this is the actual Alabama Rig. Well, not the actual one, but from Terminator, this is their version of it. Titanium wires. This is, like I said, this is the hardest hitting rig we have, and we seem not to break any arms off. Everything else seems to break off quite a bit, especially when you're chasing big stripers, right? So this is our rig. We tend to fish in murky to slightly muddy waters, so this rig color is not important as long as you got some white out there. And when you're in current, you want a lot of weight, so we actually have every single one of these is rigged with a big hook, 1/4 ounce weight. And sometimes we even, for this middle one, we even step this up to something like this. See, this is a underhead spin. It's an underhead spin, and it's a 3/4 ounce. So you put that here, it will sink this rig even faster. Now, we fish in a lot of rivers that are only about, majority of the time, it's 6 to 7 foot deep. So that's why everything is Texas rig, right? Texas rig, for the guys that don't know, is basically you have a swim bait, and the hook looks like this. It's weedless. It's a weedless setup. So when you got it in there like this, or even, they call it tech spoons, where you actually punch it back into the skin, kind of like that. This is very weedless. You can crawl this on the bottom. You can do all types of stuff with it, and you're not afraid of it getting stuck on the bottom, stuck on old fishing lines, stuck on tree stumps, rocks, whatever. The only downside of this is it will cause you to miss a couple of fish. The fish that come and they just ram it, as you can see, my arm just went through it and it's not hooking up. Okay, so the fish have to latch onto it. If they don't, they're just ramming the school, which happens quite a bit. You won't hook up any fish like that. You won't foul hook any fish, anything like that. So this is you can even say environmentally friendly, right? Because you're not going to foul hook any fish. But the downside is you're going to miss a lot of fish. The good side, the upside is you're not going to get hung up on the bottom. That's that. No blades. If it had blades, it'd probably work even better in the stained water. Okay. And then on the opposite side, this is what we have. This is what our channel is making. This is just an umbrella rig. It is not an A rig. Okay. By definition, this is not an A rig. This is an umbrella rig. It's a clear umbrella rig. Okay, so we do sell this. Let us know if you guys want one. Message us and we'll see if it's still available. Limited orders only. We don't mass produce these or nothing. This is just mainly for our viewership. But if you look at this one's completely different. This one is clear wire, and it's clear fishing line, basically just glued in the middle. And there's no metal arms, stuff like that. We got some blades on it just because I was fishing slightly dingy water. And as you can see, the baits are real small. The baits are much smaller than this one. So I was kind of fishing around some people that were also throwing this, and I was noticing like the aggressive ones have already been caught. So you have to go in after people and throw something slightly different. Slightly different meaning, smaller baits, smaller heads. Oh, and then the other thing is this one's all open hook. Open hook basically means you have a jig head with a hook exposed. This one, if you ram it, you're gonna get hooked. See how I just hooked myself? I just got hooked on this side. If you do this, you're definitely getting hooked. Like 2 or 3 of them will get you hooked. This one is really good when the fish are just ramming the baits. If you're fishing open water, super deep water, you want to throw this one instead, because it just increases the hookup ratio substantially. Okay, so that one, open water, clear water, you probably want a rig that's clear, also clear arms, so when this dumps into the water, it just kind of disappears. Okay, so that's the whole reason for having this rig in the first place. So this one's really aimed towards super clear water or / dingy water. Not a heavy duty rig. Okay, I will be honest, it's not a heavy duty rig. It's got the hardware to kind of do it, but I still don't recommend it. I've seen too many weird things that the stripers can do. So even though we believe in this product, we will say no running water, and it's more of a finesse presentation. It is going to be a fluorocarbon or a mono setup on your main line, whereas this one, you go ahead and throw that 80-pound braid on this. On this one, 20, 25, 30-pound, fluorocarbon or mono. I throw it on 30-pound mono on my big swim bait rod. And the idea for this one is it is a finesse rig. It's not very like in your face because everything's kind of hidden, right? So that's why that one exists. And if you look at the small swim baits, that's why those exist. That's why I was able to follow people and catch fish behind them. All right. So when you look at the baits, is basically what I'm trying to get to before you're going too crazy with this. Is don't get too carried away with baits. At the same time, you go ahead and get carried away with baits, because when you change baits, it changes the entire appearance of the rig. Like I said, if you look at this rig and look at this rig, don't pay attention to color, just pay attention to the size of it. It is a different size. It will show you different types of fish. It will do different things. Okay? Now, we've done really well just by throwing on a fluke. So some days they don't want like a paddle tail. You just throw flukes on it. And the hooks are, let me explain the hooks. Hooks are pretty important too. And that's probably one of the reasons why you guys want to watch, right? So, going back to the original. So this one, if you want all out everything, XPS hooks. Bass Pro Shops. This is the Bass Pro brand too. XPS swim bait hook, 5/0, which is the biggest one they have. 5/0. This is a proven swim bait for me. This is a Gambler Big Easy. Proven. Like, I've caught lots and lots of fish on that. And if you want to buy the exact same setup I have, I'll have links in the description, so you can go order it off of eBay or wherever it links to, depending on how old this video is. On this one, I'm actually trying something new on this one. So this one, as you can see, it's working. You know, the eyes have been hit and they're missing. We got teeth marks on it, on the bait. So you know this one works. This one is a VMC hybrid swim bait head with the Storm Largo shad. I'm starting to like this Largo shad. It's affordable and you got some decent colors. So oh yeah, the other thing about the VMC head is they have so many different like sizes. I've got these rigged out. This one is the one size that's slightly smaller than the 1/4 ounce. They've got like 8 different sizes, which is really good, which is what I want. The majority of the companies don't do that. They'll give you a 1/4, 3/8, and a half. This one was, let me see if I can find it. Okay, well, I say that, but there you go. That's a 1/4 ounce. But they got the one a little bit smaller than this, which is the one I like. I think it's like 11/30 seconds or something like that. So they got that, and they got a really good 1/16, which is, I'm pretty sure this one. Yeah, this one's 1/16. This one's really cool. It looks really good, right? But it's the same hook. The hook is still really good. This is where you like pick your hardware, because the other one was hardcore stripers. This one, I've caught a striper on it too. I've caught hybrids on it, but it is, for that species, this is on the low end. If you hook up on one, you gotta play the drag really smooth on those guys. They will bend this out. But for largemouths, for smallmouths, you're fine. This is probably the perfect setup for largemouths and smallmouths. And actually, this is like really good. You know, this is a fairly like pale color too. It's really good for the winters. All right, but if you guys have been paying attention, the past couple videos we've been going out, we've been smoking them on this color. This is a Kitech Swing Impact, the regular Easy. I don't even know if it's called Easy. It's just a Swing Impact, the non-fat. This is the regular swinging. Yeah, Kitech Swinging Impact. That's all this one is. But it's a 5-inch bait. 5-inch bait. Yeah, we did really good on it the other day. Yeah, more of it. See, don't let the stock colors play with you, because I got this one on chartreuse. I painted it chartreuse, so that's cool. And that day we were actually fishing for hybrids and stripers, and they actually bent this hook out a little bit, which is not highly. This is the only option we had that day, because we went to the store and everything was sold out. But this is the owner swim bait hook. Real sharp, but it tends to want to bend out a little bit, you know. So if you catch a big striper on that, this is not a current river. Well, what is it? This is not a hook for rivers with a lot of current. And if you're catching big stripers, they'll definitely straighten that out. But this one's pretty cool. Kitech's got a whole bunch of colors, so play with your colors and you should be just fine. But like I said, you know, hybrid killer, we tend to throw very similar things. Like very similar, like weights. All hybrid killer does a lot. Similar weights all around, kind of like this one. See how they're all similar weights all around. If you talk to 47 will tell you guys are doing it all wrong. 47 likes weightless stuff, so he likes to rig. So instead of going all the same, he goes, you guys need to do this. You take a weightless fluke, you put it on the side, all four, all the same size, right? And then you take a heavyweight, 3/4 ounce or 1 ounce, and you just put it in the middle. So that when you throw it, the weight actually takes the rig this way, and then it lands like that in the water every time. So when you cast this rig, it doesn't like tumble around. It just goes the weight of the lure, the heaviest lure, pulls the weight out, and it pulls everything, and it lands flat in the water every time. That's what he claims, and I've actually tried it a couple times. It does work. It works pretty good, but it's still not foolproof, but it works pretty good. The cool thing about this, like I said, is it'll hook up on a lot of fish. If fish can't touch it, it'll hook them up. But on this one, during the cast, this will tend to hook itself, kind of like this. It'll tend to do that type of stuff. But this one won't do it. This one's always like just having fun the whole time. Like, it's impossible for this thing to hook itself unless you do that. But then if you shake it, it comes off. This one, you gotta do something crazy for that to come off. So that's pretty much it, guys. I mean, that's what I got going. At least you guys, came in and learned something today. But I mean, there's a lot of things you can do. We can do different types of flukes. So these flukes are pretty cool. Let me teach you guys how to rig these. So this is a Texas rig, right? It's got a little corkscrew on the top. So you basically just thread the fluke on. Thread it on real good, kind of like that. You kind of measure where it's gonna go, but pay attention to the hook too. So before you go through, you need to angle it. Kind of see it before, because you want the fluke to be straight. So before you punch through, you need to angle it. Okay. See how it's like pretty straight like that? So now you can like expose it, and it's fairly good. Yeah, it's fairly good. And this way the fluke, well, it's not that good. You do that again. There we go. There we go. No, that doesn't look right. That doesn't look right. Gotta make sure this is perfect. There we go. That's a lot better. A lot straighter, I guess. Yeah, a lot better. Yeah, a lot better. So when you hook these up, they need to be straight. If they're acting wonky, you probably won't get bit. So hope you guys learned something today. That's kind of a thing that we've been doing for years, but we just never actually put on video. So hope you guys like that. Sub to the channel, and we'll see you on the next one.